welcome to the second episode of Truth in Tech, where we talk about some of the week's top tech stories. We thought we'd kick off this episode with like a New York story, because I'm in New York, and a Boston story, because Elise is in Boston. So, Elise, your Boston news of the week.
Sure. Yeah, the big story was that ZipCar, which is based in Cambridge here, was acquired by Avis for $500 million in cash, which is a lot of money. And they said that this would help them, provide more offerings to their customers, also called Zipsters. And yeah, I use ZipCar. I actually like a lot of their marketing that they do for them.
So you've actually used the service before?
Yes, I'm a Zipster. And I took a survey with them one time, and they were some of the new offerings that they were hinting at were one-way travel, because right now you have to return the car to the spot that you picked up. Yeah.
Okay.
There was talk of doing it so that you could, take trips and actually drop it off at a different location. And then also they have a kind of hefty late fee if you return the car like a few minutes even after.
Oh, really?
Huh. Yeah. And so it looks like they're trying to do away with that. So.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I feel like I've heard like some sort of like, oh, this is going to be the ruination of ZipCar, and some people being like, is this even a good buy for Avis? Because I guess ZipCar's when they IPO'd, they were valued at $1 billion, and now and Avis bought them for $500 million, but they are also growing a lot, like year to year. So I feel like it's a smart investment because they'll have more stability with Avis, and I feel like they'll probably be able to still keep their brand, because that's kind of part of what made them so popular.
Yeah. So. Yeah, and hopefully they can expand to more cities too.
Yeah, I mean, they are in New York, but I don't see them that often. Whereas, like in Boston, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, cool. Well, so my New York story is like, so our MTA isn't really the most tech savvy government office, but they finally released a real-time train travel app, sort of the way Google Maps will tell you when trains are coming. Now the MTA can do it for a couple of the subway lines and the shuttle. So it's not that useful yet, but it's a step in the right direction. Of course, most of the subway stations don't have Wi-Fi, and none of the trains do, so I don't know how useful it'll be, but but it's our city news.
That's a good point.
Yeah. I think Boston has more Wi-Fi, or I'm usually able to use my phone more often on the T than I am on the subway.
Yeah, there are certain spots where
like Park Street's really good, and then like the Red Line one's above ground, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So let's see. For speaking sort of mobile, this New Year's Eve was not so great for Apple. Their big store in Paris had a $1.3 million worth of iPhones and iPads stolen at 9 p.m. New Year's Eve by 4 armed men. So that was kind of a big deal. And all the police were out guarding the Champs-Élysées, so they didn't notice that there was anything amiss. Yeah. And like the second big robbery was had in like a month, because they had a lot of iPads stolen at JFK too.
Geez.
Not so good. I mean, drop in their, revenue bucket, but still.
Yeah.
It's a big story.
Oh man. Let's see, mobile. Fun fact for Our next news story is that the U.S. now has more internet-connected devices than people. So I think it's 425 million internet-connected devices to 315 million
People. Yeah.
people.
That's.
Yeah.
I would definitely like to see, and maybe the report had it, but I didn't look in any depth, like which age groups kind of have, like the number of devices per age group. I feel like that would be interesting. Because more and more I'm seeing like younger kids with, iPhones and Androids and whatever. So I feel like it could be different than what I would typically expect. I'm not sure.
That's a good point.
Yeah. So what I thought, a company that I think is pretty cool, it's this gesture-based interface company called LeapMotion. They make this little like, it's kind of this small, I don't know, like this this big little gadget that you plug in. It like has a USB port. You plug it into your computer, and it turns your computer into like a gesture-enabled machine. And like on the demo video I was watching, the accuracy is like really crazy. It gets all 10 fingers like down to 0.01 millimeters, and you can like go like this, and it'll like you can draw, you can write, and it's cool. I haven't ever really used a gesture-based machine, so I don't know how useful it is, but it looked really awesome.
Yeah,
and they just
Harry Potter.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, like a wand.
Yeah, exactly, because it mirrors exactly what you're doing to the screen, and it shows up. It was a really cool demo video. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. And it wasn't like a slick demo video. It was like an interview with some tech reporter, and it just still looked so cool.
Yeah, it was fascinating.
Yeah,
brings new meaning to no touch.
I know. Well, it would be nice to like. So I guess right now it only works on computer processors, but they're like going to make versions that will work on your phone, and like that could be really nice because my phone gets so disgusting, the screen so like smudged and stuff. So if I could just like kind of hover my finger instead of having to touch, that would be really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's anyways, they got $30 million in funding and a deal with Asus, if I'm pronouncing that right. It's a PC maker, so that they'll start building laptops that have the gestures enabled in them. So that's pretty cool, I thought.
Yeah, it's really cool.
And then our last sort of like story is in the Wall Street Journal this morning, like about more and more people signing up for Google Plus because they have to. And I didn't realize like if you want to write a review of like a business or a restaurant on Google, you now have to have a Google Plus account. You also have to have it for YouTube and for Gmail. So like they have all these new users, but the question is like, are they actually really using Google Plus, or they just sign up once and then like never go back?
Right.
And I know like last year, ComScore estimated that average Google Plus users spend 3 minutes on the site each month, whereas like an average Facebook user spends 400. So that's like not that. I don't know, like really, if people are using it as a social network, but certainly they have a lot of users whose data they can now pull, which is, it's a very aggressive way to get users, but people rely on stuff like Gmail so much that I think I first signed up. Well, I'm using it now to do this Hangout, but I first signed up because I wanted to keep my Gmail account, and I was like, okay, well, I guess I have Google Plus too. But yeah, I don't know. Like, do you use it outside of like what we're doing now? Like, do you use it to like talk to friends and stuff?
I've used it a couple times to do Hangouts. I think is the coolest feature as far as like outside of work related or like company related
Yeah.
stuff. I think the Hangouts are the only thing I really use it for, just because you can have more people. Because Skype, you can only have like um, two like video
Yeah.
wise, unless you want to pay for the premium, which I
Right.
don't.
Yeah.
So especially when this is free.
Yeah.
But
And the mobile app for this is pretty good too.
yeah.
It's pretty
Although
similar to a desktop.
although I think if I'm remembering the name correctly, it's called Rabbit. I think is working on a new video conferencing, so similar to Hangouts, but
Oh, really?
yeah. But
So you don't
instead,
have to join Google Plus to
yeah,
use it?
there you
Nice.
go. But instead of it has a different like interface. So instead of the squares, it will show the videos in circles, and
Oh,
it'll
cool.
have like an environment like background behind. So it's kind of more of like a cocktail type of feeling to it. Like there's groups, like you can have group
Nice.
conversations, like a party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
So
cool. I like
yeah, it
that.
looks pretty neat. I
We
think it's
could,
called Rabbit.
okay. We could record an episode on it sometime.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. So, apps of the week. Elise found this on Boston Innovation, which is an awesome Boston entrepreneur and education news site. So, what did you find, Elise?
Yes. They had a 6 apps to help with New Year's resolutions. So I thought that was pertinent, saying we're now in
Yeah.
2013. So not surprising, a couple of them were for fitness, because that seems to be the number one New Year's resolution.
Yes.
So they had Gym Pact, Runkeeper, which is located in Boston, actually. They're pretty cool, and they just redesigned their UI. So they're
Nice.
one of the ones I use to keep track of runs. And then they have a couple other fun ones like Babbel.
Yeah, I want to try Babbel.
Yeah, especially if you like languages.
Yeah.
Right, I think it teaches you. You can learn a new language.
Yeah.
You learn it.
That looks cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of them has a really lame name. Ideal Me Light. I hate when people spell things with like Lite instead of Light. It's a dumb name anyways. I can't tell what it does from the description. But the other ones look cool.
Yeah, I couldn't tell from that one either.
Yeah, nice. We could use the reward volunteers one for SoftArtisans charity committee.
Oh yeah, there you go. That's a good idea.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I think that's all. I think that's all we have for this short work week. But we will be back next week with more stories to dissect. Until then, see you later.
Bye.
Bye.